Hey guys, my name is Danish and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the comfort / functional mods that I've done to my Yamaha YZF R15S. So let's just get started. So if you haven't watched the previous videos of this R15S playlist, go check out this link above and watch all the videos over there. And if you have, let's just continue with this video. So I have done two comfort mods that I've actually done to the wiring of this system. The number one option is the power socket that I've directly attached to the battery. So this is a 12-volt cigarette lighter socket with an inline fuse, and if you want you can add a switch to this as well as a manual cutoff, but as long as you don't use this socket while the bike is powered off, you're good to go. It's a simple installation process. Just connect the positive to the positive and the negative to the negative. Always make sure that you are wearing gloves or using insulated tools so that you don't shock yourself from the battery terminal, and it's that simple. So you can use socket powered air pumps, USB chargers, whatever you want to use while you are riding. I mostly use the air compressor while connected to the bike battery to pump up air on the tires and manually control the pressures that I have on the bike. So this gives me a lot more flexibility to control how the ride will feel, and I don't always have to go to the petrol station to fill up with gas. So that's a plus side. The USB socket I have is as a redundancy, as a backup. Even though I have a battery bank, the USB adapter always stays with me everywhere I go with the bike, so it's always there to provide me with some juice if the battery bank dies, my phone dies, and I have to charge it up in emergency scenarios. So that's a safety tip and also it's convenient. The second mod is however a bit more involved. So this is the hazard light switch. So this is a switch that I've added manually and in line with the indicator connectors to provide power to both indicators when this switch is on, and work as a hazard switch to flash all the 6 indicators. So 2 main indicators at front, 2 main indicators at the rear, and the fairing indicators that I talked about in the previous video, which you can check out over here. So the hazard option is not really a stock option in most bikes. It is there in the premium higher end bikes like the 600cc bikes and above, and it is standard on cars. So this should be mandated as something that should be there on all bikes, because it's a pretty important functionality to have on a bike, and more bikes are going on the highway. So this is a good way to have a bit more safety and a bit more visibility for your bike. Now you can go 2 ways on this. The simple way is getting an ECU flasher module. So this connects directly to your ECU, and a certain amount of flicks on your indicator stock at a specific speed will switch on the hazard lights. Or you can go the DIY route, which is a bit more involved, where you have to connect the indicator switch from both indicators, either at the front or at the rear, and connect them through a fuse and go through the switch. When you flip on the switch, both the indicators get power, so all of the indicators will flash because of this. Now the thing is, activating this is a bit more of an involved process, because when the switch is off, your indicators will work normally. So you have to switch this additional switch on and then flick your indicator stock to either direction for this to work. So I have gotten used to this, and I have my switch really close to the kill switch on the right hand arm. So I just have to reach about a bit more and switch on the switch, and then with the left hand normal indicator can be activated. So I have a fuse in line as well as a safety backup, so it doesn't fry any of my bike's electronics, which is always a good thing to always have redundancies to protect whatever you are installing. And the switch is just a generic 2-way switch I bought from Amazon for about $100. It's not that costly. Even the electrical socket was a few years ago actually, and I think I bought that off eBay, and the first one I bought didn't actually work. It fused out and shorted out 2 of my fuses of the socket, not the bike. So the fuses were already provided by the seller, so I contacted the seller. He sent me a replacement one and it worked fine. So but then eBay died, so we don't have eBay anymore, so we have to go for Amazon, and there are a few good ones on Amazon as well with a lot of reviews. So I'll link one of those in the description below if you want to go check it out. and it's not that difficult. There are a few guides to help you guys out on how to do the wiring yourself on the hazard switch, which I'll also link in the description below, which you can go check it out. And the socket is pretty much self-explanatory. Connect the positive to the positive, negative to the negative. Make sure you have a fuse in line. If you want to add a switch, that's a bit more complexity because you have to put that in line on either side, and that's it. I guess I had a switch before on the socket, which I actually removed and put for the indicator, so I can add another switch to the socket if I want to in the future, but as I don't use it while the bike is off, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's just one more thing to keep in mind, just not to use it on battery power, so which is rule number 1, so it's not that big of a deal. So this was my process of doing the electrical modifications to the bike, and also disclaimer that none of these mods are gonna keep your warranty alive. So these mods I have done directly to the battery for the socket, and the hazard switch has been directly wired into the aftermarket indicator, so I haven't touched any of the original wiring of the bike. So the original wiring of the bike is intact and hasn't been touched, but still this will be a point of contention for your warranty claim if either the salesperson doesn't like you or they want to be sticking to the rules. So be careful when you do this, and do this at your own risk. But I have done this, and I always recommend the socket and the hazard to be the two of the best mods that you can do to your bike in terms of safety and redundancy and something to be used in an emergency. So I guess that's the end of this video. If you like this video, give this video a like, get subscribed to my channel, follow me on my social media channels for more content, and stay home, stay safe. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.